Alan, if you just want to start us off with a statement for why we're here today.
Why we're here today? Well, we just received notification from the Valley that, we finished the process and they made their decision on who they wanted to invite, and they decided to invite another institution and stay at 10, and so we're moving forward.
When did you hear the news, and who told you over the phone, I'm guessing?
I got a call this morning from the commissioner. It was very nice, very complimentary of our program, very complimentary of our site visit, and most had not been to our campus, and they realized quickly what our commitment was to athletics, what our strengths were, our tradition. Certainly loved our basketball arena and all that we had to offer, and with our commitment to basketball. And so, as I said, very, very complimentary. It certainly wasn't anything to do with what our program was. It was more of a, what direction they wanted to take at this particular time for their conference.
What exactly were they looking for their conference?
I wasn't in the room, so I don't know that it's fair for me to speak to what the presidents were looking for. Obviously, they made the decision to invite another institution. I'm sure that Valpo brings a lot to the table. It's like I said in my statement, I'll compare us to anybody. I would offer for anybody to go out and try to find other programs that bring as much championship tradition as what we do to the table. But I'm sure there was a lot of factors that they talked about, and at the end of the day, they decided to stay at 10, and I respect that decision. And I think the point I've made all along is that our program and the success of our program was never reliant on this decision. And I will say that over and over again. There are some programs that would need conference membership, certain conference membership, to be successful, to have an opportunity to be successful, but that's not the case here. We've been successful for a very, very long time, and I expect us to continue to be, and we're set up very, very well thanks to our fan base, how engaged they are with our program, how much they care about our program, and that's why we've had so much success over the years, and we will continue to have that.
One of the ADs talked about keeping the expansion committee involved for the next 9 months. Is that something that could be revisited down the road for Murray?
Well, I guess that would be up to them, on what they would choose to do. My focus right now is being a member of the OVC, being a very proud member, a founding member of the OVC. I've talked to a lot of the ADs, talked to the commissioner today. I commend them for how they handled this matter. It's a difficult time when there's a lot of uncertainty out there, but with their professionalism, their friendship towards me, I'm incredibly grateful for how they handled things. So we're going to focus everything and every effort that we have on making this year in the OVC a great one, especially when it comes to what we're going to do in Evansville, hopefully at the end of the basketball season. We want to make that a very successful tournament.
One question, was there a path for football in all this for the Missouri Valley Conference? Was there something as far as a plan?
There would have been, certainly, Neil. That was part of the discussion. Would it have been part of any invitation that they would have given us right now? I don't know that. It's probably something that would have happened later on. We would have figured out where we wanted to go. I would have indicated, and I had talked to Dr. Davies about the possibility of offering to stay in the OVC for one more year. Everybody was out selling tickets. They had their schedules out, so it would have been very difficult to have gaps in the schedule for this upcoming season. Then after that, we would have worked with the Valley or with another conference to try to come up with a time frame on when we would join.
Is there a possibility that we could still see Murray State in the Missouri Valley in the future?
That's not up to me. That's up to the presidents on what they want to do. I'm focused solely on Murray State, and I'm focused on what we need to do to be successful, and we're a member of the OVC, and that means I'm also focused on the OVC success.
You talked about the tradition of championships in the OVC, and if you look at Murray State's history, there have been a lot of great athletes who have come here and great moments, including being ranked in the top 10 in the nation in men's basketball. So there's every reason for fans to be excited about the year ahead and the years to come, and even in the OVC, is there not?
No question. No question. I hope that my statement that I put out reflected that excitement. I've been at peace about whatever happened with this decision for a number of weeks, and I told Dr. Davies, so this is a win-win situation for us. if we get in, great, we're going to build our program, we're going to do what we need to do to be successful in the Valley. I said, if we don't, I said, we're in a great position in the OVC. We've been successful, and whatever happened is not going to dictate what our success is here. And we've got 76 winning seasons out of 92 in basketball. That's pretty impressive. And I'll put that up against anybody's. And we're one of the best mid-major programs in the entire country. Come into our basketball arena, and when we got things going, you'll see exactly that. And so I'm proud of where we are. I'm proud of what we did to position our program. The outcome is what the outcome is. I'm not at all disappointed with it. Feel incredibly positive about our future. And I did same time yesterday before I even knew what the outcome was. I had 2 stacks on my desk, and both of them were very positive about what it was that we were going to accomplish this season with our planning and our preparation. And we're going to be very proud members of the OVC, and I've got a lot of friends and a lot of colleagues, and I look forward to working with them again.
There was a projected potential cost involved in changing conferences. Will that be applied in staying with the OVC, or will there be any additional investments with that projected?
Well, you can make that offer to Dr. Davis if you'd like to. Somebody asked me that question earlier, and I think it's just a different context that you look at. Where our budget is in the OVC compared to where it was in the Valley, just 2 totally different things. We'd have to travel differently in the Valley. You'd have charters in the Valley. You'd have our teams traveling to Iowa. We don't have any of that going on. Plus, we've been very successful in the OVC, and we've done it under our current budget. And I will say that I'll put our return on investment up against anybody's. We're a very efficient program. Fundamentally, from a financial standpoint, we're very sound. We make the most of our money, and with not only what we raise and what we earn, but what's given to us, what's invested in our program. So we will always talk, and I'll always talk with Dr. Davis about what we need to do to invest and get better, and especially when it comes to our men's basketball and our high-profile revenue sports. But to think that we can take the same context for the Valley and apply that to the OVC is just not fair, and that's probably not something that you'll see happen.
Who approached who first? Missouri Valley approach us, Murray State approach them?
Well, it ended up being that they approached us first, Neil. Now, I have to admit that I've been very close to what's been happening with Wichita State, being a graduate, knowing the AD very well since I had hired him here. I had a pretty good idea of what it was that they were doing, maybe before what some others did, just because Darren and I have been close friends for a long time. So I knew what was going on, and I felt like this was an opportunity to maybe get our name out there and look at some possible consideration. But it just so happens that they called us first, and so I felt good about that. I felt like somebody had recognized what we were doing with our program, and we're going to take a good hard look at us.
Any comments or thoughts on Valparaiso?
I wish them the best. We've played them before. They're a very good team, especially in basketball. Very good basketball school. A little different situation with their football. They didn't have that as an issue being in the Pioneer League, but I've known them, have a lot of respect for them, and as I said, I just wish them the very best.
Given today's outcomes, has Murray State been approached by any other conferences?
We've had some discussions with some other conferences over the years, but nothing that's gotten serious enough, and I don't expect anything in the future to be that serious.
You don't feel like there could be chances to get in the Missouri Valley in a couple of years?
Oh, I don't know that. I won't speculate on that. I've learned to never predict what might happen in a room where the presidents are. I joke with Dr. Davis about that all the time, so I'm not going to speculate on that. It just, if that time comes, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But right now, I'm going to focus solely on Murray State and what we need to do to be successful, continue to be successful here, and just prove to everybody that we've got a really good program here, and we bring a lot to the table. And not that I want to make them regret what their decision is. I don't want that. I want what's best for them. Certainly, I want them to continue to be a solid mid-major conference. But at the same time, I want the OVC to be a solid mid-major conference. And if we can grow the OVC and put ourselves in a position like the Valley's been, then that's good for everybody. And that's what I want us to be. I want us to be a leader in our conference in everything that we do. We won 4 championships this year. People forget that. We won 4 conference championships this year, and still have a couple more that are playing. And you never know what can happen in baseball, and you certainly don't know with Mason what can happen in softball. And so we can make it 5 or 6, and that's a pretty nice resume for a year.
Now that Valparaiso is going to the Missouri Valley Conference, there's a potential opening in the Horizon Conference. Is that something that you think Murray State would be interested in exploring?
I think that people will be interested in Murray State because of what our program is. Now, whether we fit that particular footprint, there's a lot of different factors. You know, what happens with your other sports. With that, you know, with the Horizon League, there's not going to be as much bus travel. So you're talking about, you know, flying your other teams everywhere. So once again, I really don't want to speculate on what might happen there, but I would guess that we have some interest from other leagues as long as there continues to be conference realignment.
But if Missouri Valley called, you would listen, at least, I mean.
I'll listen to anybody that calls, but that doesn't mean that I'm going to feel like it's best where I'd make a recommendation to the president to pursue it.
What'd you and Dr. Davies learn from this?
You know, I think all along that's a really good question. I think what I learned is that, one, I don't have any regrets in the process. It's been a very good process. Typically, process like this help you learn more about where your program is and what you offer, because people are being critical and are looking at it from a critical standpoint and critiquing what you do and how it compares. So for them to tell us how strong our program was and how good our site visit was and how impressed they were, and they saw immediately what our commitment was to athletics, says a lot about what we've done as a program. So I've learned that and feel really good about that. But what I really feel great about is that, as I said, we're not relying on what happened today. We've been successful before, and we're going to be successful long after this. I feel as good about that as I did 3 weeks ago when we started, and we're going to win, and we're going to continue to win because we do things the right way around here.
Alan, thank you.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate you coming in. Really do.